Genesis chapter 39, 창세기 39장. Now Joseph had been taken down to Egypt. Potiphar, an Egyptian who was one of the Pharaoh's officials, the captains of the guard brought him from the Ishmaelites who had taken him there. The Lord was with Joseph and prospered, and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. When his master saw that the Lord was with him, and the Lord gave him success in everything he did, Joseph found favor in his eyes and became the attendant. Potiphar put him in charge of his household, and he entrusted to his care everything he owned. From the time he put him in charge of his household and of all that he owned, the Lord blessed the household of the Egyptians because of Joseph. The blessing of the Lord was on everything Potiphar had, both in the house and in the field. So he left in Joseph's care everything he had with Joseph in charge. He did not concern himself with anything except the food he ate. Now Joseph was well built and handsome, and after the while his master's wife took notice of Joseph and said, "Come to bed with me," but he refused. "With me in charge," he told her. "My master does not concern himself with anything in the house. Everything he owns entrusted my care. No one is greater in this house than I am. My master has withheld nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How then could I do such wicked things and sin against God?" And thus she spoke to Joseph day after day. He refused to go to bed with her, even with her. One day he went into the house to attend to his duties. None of his household servant was inside. She called him by his cloak and "Come to bed with me," but he left his cloak and he in her hand and ran out of the house. When she saw that he had left his cloak in her hand and had run out of the house, she called her husband's servant. "Look," she said to them, "this Hebrew has been brought to us to make a sport of us. He came in here to sleep with me, but I screamed. When he heard me screamed for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out of the house." She kept her cloak beside hers until his master came home. Then she told him this story, that the Hebrew slave you brought us come to me and make a sport of me. But as soon as I screamed for help, he left his cloak beside me and ran out of the house. When this master heard the stories, his wife told him, saying, "This is how your slave treated me." He burned with anger. So Joseph's master took him and put him in a prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined. But while Joseph was there in the prison, the Lord was with him, and he showed him and kindness and granted him favor in the eyes of the prison's warden. So the wardens put Joseph in charge of all those held in the prisons. He was made responsible for all that was done there. The wardens paid no attention to anything under Joseph's cares, because the Lord was with Joseph and gave him success in whatever he did.